And we're back live with the end of day PulseWave report of yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave price trigger reports. All right, this is a quick video getting ready for Take Back Friday. So this is when we look at the weekly charts and see what's shaping up going into next week. All right, so the first chart is the US dollar. You can see so far uneventful on the weekly chart, still in a bull market. You pull back some, just enough to allow bulls to come in and bid the market back up. This is what we got so far. Looking like the market is setting to run yet again next week. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But the way it's looking like it's now is the bulls are still in control of this market. Going over now to the euro, you see on the euro currency here that the bears are still in control of this one. So far, it's looking like it's setting up, for more pullback going into next week. The bears are still in control. Nothing too eventful here on the chart, on the weekly chart. So unless something big happens, it's just going to be wash, rinse, repeat. Bears are still in control. This market is still well in a very powerful downtrend, and that's it. Bear market. Moving right ahead, taking a look now at gold. All right, here on the gold weekly chart, this is how it's setting up going into next week. As you can see here, it's still a sideways market with a bearish bias. We're still in a bear market, but it's in a wide consolidation pattern. As you can see here, market's been testing the higher end of the trading range. If this continues, there's a possibility the market could work its way out of a bear market and back into a bull market as it's getting close to getting back up toward, the old highs. All right, you just broke 1900 today, so that's interesting. But you can see we're still sideways. Market's been here before. Look what happened. Okay, still a long way to go. Oh, did I do it again? Man, I'm sorry. Wow. Okay, I wasn't even showing y'all the chart. Okay, so here on this gold chart, you can see we're still in a bear market on the weekly chart. Still sideways consolidation. Yeah, you broke 1900 today, but you've been here before. Look where you broke from, the old highs. All right, so it's just a long, elongated sideways pattern with a bearish bias. Hence, you're still in a bear market unless something happens. There's nothing to change that. The market's testing the higher end of the trading range, and we'll see if it can hold it. It's always historically had a problem with the $1,800 handle and a $1,900 handle. Never really stayed above 1950 for very long. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe this time is different. All right, going back to the US dollar chart that you guys didn't get a chance to see, it's still in a bull market. You're just pulling back this week, allowing an opportunity for the bulls to come in and buy some of this weakness. And looks like the market's ready to try to rally going into next week. Unless something happens, you got bullish momentum still locked in on this chart. We'll see what happens in the close tomorrow. But so far, the dollar remains in a bull market. The euro, on the other hand, remains in a bear market with a increasing downside pressure on the euro. Unless something happens, this is your weekly bar. You don't have a lot going on, and it's going to take a lot to change this market. A whole lot. You say you want to see platinum. Let me see. Let me see if I got that. I think I do. Let's see. XPT. Yes, okay. Let's see here. Do I have the updated data? Let's see. All right, waiting for the data, as you can see here. All right, here we go. All right. So yeah, this is looking like the gold chart. Very interesting. Notice how this platinum chart is identical to the gold chart. If you just remove the name, you wouldn't know if I was showing you gold or platinum. This is an identical chart pattern. And you know what that proves? It just proves that the large institutional money flows are hitting all the markets simultaneously as they're spreading their money around looking for some type of increase, looking for some gain on their capital gains. But right now, platinum is it's in a bull zone right now. It's also on a sideways, a longer term sideways pattern, but it's been flip flopping between bullish and bearish biases. You've come out of the last bearish bias, and now you're in a bullish bias. The market's trying to do a little something, but the only difference is between this chart and going back to the gold chart here is that there's been no flip floppage. Gold has been under a bear market for quite some time, as you can see here, with just ranges whipsawing around here within the trading range. That's the only difference between gold and platinum right now. Very interesting, right? All right, here's your silver. So silver is looking a little bit like this. As you can see here, your silver now is in the green zone on the weekly chart, and it's trying to come up. It's right here at the overhead trend line resistance. Still a long way away from the bottom of the Kumo cloud, but the bulls have wrestled control away from the bears from this last downtrend channel that was had, and he put in a nice little support low. And now the market's trying to build a base to rally on that. It's still way weaker than the gold market is. Gold is inching near its all-time highs, where silver is not even halfway to hitting or getting near its all-time highs. Very different markets, very different markets. But yet, striking resemblance in the patterns, just that the silver is a little bit more consolidated, a little bit weaker, but still very interesting weekly charts for these markets. All right, let's take a look at oil. So here's your crude oil. Okay. Now, crude oil has been moving interesting. Notice the flip floppage. Bullish to bearish to bullish to bearish to it's just going every other few weeks. You're flipping. So red, you got green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, and now you're starting the beginning of another red. So this was this week's bar so far, pulling back from the new highs. You've been hitting new highs now. This is the first wave of new highs right here. Then your second wave, then your third wave, and now we're in the fourth wave of new highs. And the market is pulling back. So we inched near that $100 a barrel. Now the market's pulling back. Right now, all things being considered, unless something happens between tonight and tomorrow to change this bar, it's looking like we're setting up for a sell-off going into next week in oil. Now, compare this chart to OIH, which is our crude oil ETF. It tracks with the futures. Now, it's been flip-flopping a lot also, but if you see, it has a longer term upward type of a bias overall, and it's moving higher. All right, so the bulls are doing a little bit more work here. This one is moving higher, so it's setting the stage for continuing to rally next year. I mean, it's the next week. Now, notice here, this is our current week. So far, we're hitting a new high. All right, we're hitting a new high, which is a very strong bullish sign going into next week. But I caution you with one thing. The last time this happened, up at these price levels that was similar to this bar the week of June the 4th of 2021. The following week was the beginning of an incredible sell-off. Could we be topping? Could we be double topping here in OIH? Is OIH giving us a warning that there's going to be a massive pullback in oil? We'll see how the markets do tomorrow, but so far, this is what we're looking forward to. So far, going into next week is still strong, but anything can happen tonight into tomorrow. We shall see. Okay, so here is your bonds. Look how nasty. Okay, so this is a weekly chart of TLT, right? Now, it looks like this market is trying to double bottom. See? Last time we got down at these levels, the bulls came in and forced the bears to liquidate, and you had a nice little upward thrust here. Could the market be getting ready to do that again? That is the question. All right. On the weekly chart, though, the bears are clearly in control, locked in. But if you flip it over to the daily chart, you see what we got here? This is a primary rally alert, and we got upside production today. So I think the market's going to try to get a little bit more of this massive overhead resistance at 138 bucks. Overhead trend line resistance is closer to 142 bucks. So there's room to run, but you know, it's just one of those things. Interest rates will continue to explode the lower this bond price goes, but right now it's trying to stave off that type of inflationary pressure with rising interest rates. It's trying to keep that at bay, and it's trying to do something. We just came off a lock so far too. No longer locked in downward selling pressure. It's coming off. So maybe there is some legs behind this. So TLT is definitely in play so far going into next week on the long side of the market. Last but not least is the heavy hitter Bitcoin. All right, so here's the weekly on the Bitcoin. So far, this market is setting up for a major primary crash alert sell signal going into next week. So unless something changes between now and Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard New York time, we're looking to see a huge downward. This next down leg could be absolutely disgusting, scary, frightening. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees teaming up with Michael Myers to decapitate bullish positions in Bitcoin. Prepare yourselves. This is what it's looking like. Now, for you pulse wavers out there, you enjoyed yourself today. Let me flip over here to the daily chart. You enjoyed yourself selling this. We had this crash alert that I showed you last night coming into today, and look what happened. You got this nice down bar. All right. So I enjoyed it. I'm not going to front. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that nice little run. I'm hoping we get a little bit more because this is that bearish pointer I was telling you about. And I think this is where the market is coming to take that out. That'll put us back below 30K, 30,000, folks. All right. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's just looking like it may happen. So, Bitcoin is something else. You got accelerating selling pressure right here. All right, this shows accelerating selling pressure. So I don't know. It could be quite disgusting. I hope you guys are having fun with those micro futures contracts that I told you about the other day. It is a lot of fun. It's easier to trade long and short in the futures than it is in the cash markets. So just something to think about. All right. Futures is a lot of fun. All right. With that being said, man, I hope everyone has a great weekend. We are planning to do that tutorial that I promised you. Frank and I are looking to do that tomorrow morning, Lord willing. I know that's going to definitely be on the Discord. We may do something also here on YouTube and then do the tutorial over in the Discord, or we may just go directly to the Discord to do the tutorial for the new outline on the dashboard. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the new upgrades, the new updates to the reports on the dashboard. I hope you're finding things a lot better, a lot easier to read and know what to do. No more analysis paralysis. Hopefully you're finding it uh, easier to decide what you want to do, what you want to trade, hopefully. And the word is hopefully. I hope you guys are finding that. You should anyway, because you know, I tried to think of everything in there with all the questions and stuff that we normally get. So I tried to make it as idiot proof as possible. But if you're still struggling and need to understand something, that's what this new tutorial is going to be for. Hopefully, you guys will really benefit from it. And it's a time to ask questions too. All right, so here's theta. My man Kyle wants to see theta. This is the daily on the theta. The weekly chart's still jammed up, but on theta we have a crash alert, secondary crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. On this one, we did have a primary crash alert back here, and we did get this initial downside production. We got more downside production today, and I think more is coming between tonight and Sunday at 6 p.m. We shall see. We'll see. Theta has been, in a sideways pattern as well, going all the way back to here, which is December the 4th of 2021. All right. So, yeah, craziness is happening all around us. Just be prepared for anything, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, Lord willing, we'll see you guys tomorrow at the tutorial. And everyone else have a wonderful weekend. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And don't forget to smash that like button. Peace.